Hello folks, today I show you how a single nutrient could change the face of healthcare forever. Coming up. Well, for human beings, vitamin C, known synthetically as L-ascorbic acid or C6H8O6, is a water-soluble essential nutrient. Essential means that our bodies don't synthesize it internally at all, so we need to obtain it from our food and through supplements. Humans, great apes, many other primates, guinea pigs, and some species of fruit bats, and a handful of other obscure species are the only animals on Earth that are not capable of producing their own vitamin C internally in their livers. This is likely due to a genetic mutation that occurred far back in our distant prehistoric past that stunted our ability to synthesize the gulonolactone oxidase enzyme. Try saying that 10 times fast. Most animals in the wild typically make a human equivalent of around 4,000 to 12,000 milligrams of vitamin C per day internally when healthy, and can produce up to 100,000 milligrams per day if under physical, chemical, or emotional stress. That's about 99% of the animal kingdom. Nature finds it necessary to make an average of about 10,000 milligrams of ascorbic acid per day while in a healthy state. Surprisingly, however, the FDA's recommended daily allowance for humans is over 100 times less than what the average animal produces at just 90 milligrams per day. 90 milligrams per day as opposed to 10,000. Yet even captive gorillas and other primates are given far more than this amount at around 6,000 milligrams a day. But don't worry, we're the exception to nature, right? Vitamin C is responsible for a whole host of bodily processes. It isn't just a highly effective antioxidant. It's critical for the creation of collagen, the building block of our connective tissues, blood vessels, and arterial walls, and for building and repairing bone. We need it for glutathione production, the master antioxidant inside our cells, crucial for maintaining a healthy and strong immune system. It's one of the most powerful antihistamines in the world. It's an absolute antitoxin, an absolute antiviral, a powerful natural antibiotic, and aids in recovery from surgery, wounds, and infections of all kinds. In short, it's critical for the proper workings of every cell in our bodies. There is a mountain of evidence building almost daily now, pointing to inadequate intake of vitamin C as being the main underlying cause of most disease plaguing the human race. Since 1935, there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of case studies showing that vitamin C's effectiveness in treating and or curing everything from syphilis, snake bites, polio, leukemia, chickenpox, whooping cough, measles, mumps, drug overdose and addiction, cancer, heart disease, heavy metal poisoning, hepatitis, and much, much more. Most write-ups on vitamin C, however, warn the public to be careful of taking too much vitamin C in large quantities, as it could lead to the development of kidney stones, in men especially. But there's no definitive evidence that vitamin C even causes kidney stones at all. In fact, while one study showed that only 1 out of every 600 plus men who take high doses of vitamin C may develop a kidney stone in their lifetime, other data shows that those taking the most vitamin C seem to have the least instances of kidney stones. Dr. Frederick Klenner, a pioneer of the use of vitamin C as a medical treatment, had studied and administered vitamin C both orally and by IV for decades. During a South Carolina polio outbreak in 1948, for example, Dr. Klenner treated 60 cases of children with confirmed polio. All children recovered fully and without complication within 3 to 5 days. Not long ago, New Zealand dairy farmer Alan Smith was hospitalized in an induced coma on life support after contracting a severe case of the H1N1 virus, swine flu, which worsened into severe viral pneumonia. While hospitalized, it was discovered that he had also developed hairy cell leukemia. Chest x-rays showed his entire chest cavity was completely filled with fluid impenetrable to x-rays, referred to as a whiteout x-ray. After 3 weeks on life support, the doctors wanted to pull the plug. But Alan Smith's family demanded the hospital try administering high-dose vitamin C as a treatment. All the doctors agreed this would have no effect and wanted to refuse the family's request. But at least one doctor argued that even though it wouldn't work at all, he was sure, it would not feel right to dismiss the family's last wishes. So they decided they would try the vitamin C, and once it was obvious that it didn't work, they would remove him from life support. Just 2 treatments of 100 grams of IV vitamin C were administered, one that evening and one the following morning. Later the next day, a CAT scan showed dramatic clearing of Mr. Smith's lungs, allowing for airflow, and he was able to breathe on his own. After a few days of good recovery, a new doctor was assigned to the case who refused to allow any further vitamin C treatments. Naturally, his condition declined rapidly. The family demanded they start using the vitamin C again, and after a good deal of arguing and lawyering up on the family's part, the vitamin C was back on tap for Mr. Smith, but only at 1 gram per day as opposed to 100 grams per day. With only this sadly low dose and the liposomal form of oral vitamin C given to him by his family, Alan Smith started recovering once again. Upon full recovery, not only was he free from flu and pneumonia, but he no longer had hairy cell leukemia. If you're interested in checking out the full video of this story, I'll put a link below in the comments. Not long after Alan Smith's story broke, a 20-year-old Australian woman, Laura Clark, was in a remarkably similar situation at St. Vincent's Hospital in Sydney. She too was on life support for severe whiteout pneumonia after contracting H1N1. And the hospital was ready to pull the plug on the ECMO system machine to keeping her alive, just like they were in Mr. Smith's case. Her family saw the 60-minute documentary on Alan Smith and reached out to the Smith family personally. This led them to contact Dr. Ian Brighthope, a vitamin C specialist and president of the Australasian College of Nutritional and Environmental Medicine. With Dr. Brighthope's help, the family persuaded the hospital to administer high-dose intravenous vitamin C. Just as in the case of Smith, Laura Clark's lungs began to clear, eventually to the point where she was able to breathe on her own and without life support. Just as Laura was on the heels of recovery, the hospital, against Dr. Brighthope's advice, discontinued the vitamin C treatments, citing development of oxalate crystal formation in her kidneys, which is usually caused by dehydration rather than vitamin C. Laura's health declined once again. Laura died due to complications of widespread massive infection. So why don't doctors and hospitals allow it as treatment? This is the question of the century. Is it because vitamin C lacks sufficient study to be shown to be safe and effective? Hardly. Vitamin C is one of the most studied and researched substances in the history of medicine. It has undergone more studies for safety and effectiveness than any pharmaceutical drug allowed on the market, and has been shown to not only be highly effective for a multitude of ailments and maladies, but has been proven to be one of the least toxic substances known to mankind. No one has ever died or has gotten seriously ill from vitamin C in any quantity, ever. On the flip side, can Big Pharma say the same? Apparently not. Non-intentional death from FDA-approved pharmaceutical drugs were shown to be the 4th leading cause of death in America, according to the FDA's own website. And 128,000 deaths in a year from properly dosed and administered medications is a far cry from the 0 death rate enjoyed by vitamin C. Yet the medical establishment refuses to use or even acknowledge vitamin C as a cheap and effective treatment to the detriment of millions of lives. So why would such a thoroughly researched, proven, safe, and effective treatment such as vitamin C be turned away as a valid medical treatment? Many speculate that widespread use of vitamin C would deal a huge blow to the pharmaceutical industry, especially in the realms of cancer, cardiovascular disease, and bacterial and viral infections, oftentimes caused in the hospital itself. But let's hold our judgments until we first shine light on some evidence. After this, you make up your own mind and see if you too see something fishy. Dr. Linus Pauling, twice awarded Nobel Prize winner, often considered one of the most brilliant minds in science, spent a good portion of his career studying the curative properties of high-dose vitamin C. His research led to multiple studies showing the benefits of vitamin C in the prevention of the common cold and the prevention and reversal of heart disease and cancer. However, some in the pharmaceutical industry and the Mayo Clinic decided to revisit the issue in an attempt to discredit Pauling's work. Pauling, along with Dr. Ewan Cameron, chief surgeon at Vale of Leven Hospital in Scotland, matched 50 terminal cancer patients using only vitamin C, initially in the form of sodium ascorbate intravenously, at 10 grams per day, that's 2.5 grams 4 times daily for the rest of their lives, with another 50 terminal cancer patients undergoing standard chemotherapy treatments. They then followed both groups of 50 patients until end of life. Those taking only the vitamin C lived on average 6 years longer than those treated with the standard treatment, who lived an average of only 6 months. Some of the vitamin C patients also went into remission. Those that did not lived out the remainder of their lives without suffering through the misery and pain associated with undergoing chemotherapy. This very same protocol used by Pauling and Cameron has been duplicated in 3 other studies using the same protocol with similar and sometimes better results in the United States, Canada, and in Japan. Then came the Mayo Clinic studies, which did not follow the same protocols and did not get the same results, claiming that the vitamin C was ineffective. According to Mayo, the Pauling-Cameron protocol matched patients based on medical records rather than random group selections and did not use a placebo group. So let's get this straight. If a placebo group can cause a terminal cancer patient to live 10 times longer than standard chemo, then why don't hospitals give everyone sugar pills? And as the vitamin C group, with very few exceptions, was made of the individuals that had no chemotherapy at all, they had to use medical records to match patients, but made sure patients in both groups were in similar states and degrees of cancer. Anyhow, all were terminal, so let's not nitpick the details, shall we? The fact remains that the vitamin C groups in these independent studies lived years longer on average, while all 3 of the Mayo Clinic studies failed to even come close to such results in either group. There is much, much more to vitamin C than you see on the news, read in your papers, or your daily medical news page. Don't take our word for it. Do your own research and take your life into your own hands. This is the secret weapon I use with all my wellness coaching and weight loss clients, and I hope you consider using it too. If you found this information valuable, please like this video and then subscribe to my channel for more mind-blowing videos coming soon. And please, please pass along this information to anyone you believe can benefit from it. Thank you all. This is Coach Anthony Reed signing off.